Today we are working on this 2019 Honda CR-V. This is a repeat customer. She brings her vehicle into me at least once, sometimes 2 times a year. And actually April of 2022, last year, we applied Bombshell ceramic coatings to this vehicle. Customer's bringing it in for its first maintenance wash. So we're gonna be able to kind of do an update for you guys on this coating, but I want to preface it first. When I talk to the customer, first 2 questions that I always ask a customer that's had a vehicle coated is 1, how are you enjoying it? How has it been performing? No issues whatsoever. She said she's been enjoying it and it's been doing a great job. Second question, how have you been maintaining it? This is where it got a little sticky. She's only hosed it down. She's actually done no contact wash, no soap, no nothing. And we have had a horrible spring with pollen. We did not have a lot of snow or road salts that we had to deal with this winter, which is always great. But because we had that lack of snow, our pollen season is super heavy right now. And it is just thick on vehicles. Pollen is actually, in my opinion, one of the worst things for the protection on your vehicle. And so we need to definitely address some potential issues that we might be having with the lack of maintenance on this coating. But let's see how Bombshell has been holding up. And honestly, this is probably the most extreme case of torture that you could put a ceramic coating through. No maintenance whatsoever, just hosing it down with water. And even water, if it's hard water, heavy with mineral deposits, that could even be an issue that we might have some water spotting issues. So I'm kind of a little nervous, but let's go ahead and see what's going on. So even though we do have quite a bit of dirt on this vehicle, it could actually be a whole lot worse when you think about the fact that this vehicle hasn't been washed for over a year. We still have staining down our door panels from dirt that's built up behind the door panels. We still have a lot of road film and gunk down in all of our seals. We have bird poop that is etched into our clear coat. We even have bee poop all over the vehicle because, again, it's springtime. We do have quite a few issues on this paint, but because it's ceramic coated, it's actually not that bad when you think about it. But the reality is that we're going to have to use some pretty strong chemicals to try to save or unclog the ceramic coating. And most retail coatings, those chemicals by themselves might actually weaken the ceramic coating. So this is really going to be putting this product to the test. But for those of you that might have a similar issue where you have a neglected ceramic coating, almost to the point of death, I'm going to show you some tips on how to save a ceramic coating. Our 2-bucket wash method and our separate bucket for tires and wheels all set up. Just quickly, we're going to use the tire and rubber rejuvenator, foaming wheel cleaner for our tires and wheels. We'll do a high pressure rinse, come in and do an APC soak just to try to help loosen any of the dirt before we come in and do our foaming pre-soak with wax safe snow foam from AM Details. It is safe for protection. It's not going to strip it, but it will do an excellent job of just cleaning the paint. So that way, before we come in and do our contact wash, we've removed as much of any loose dirt and contaminants from the vehicle. And then from there, we'll come in, we'll do a contact wash with Car Pro Reset. This is just an intensive car shampoo, really great for coatings to kind of help rejuvenate them. We'll be using our Work Stuff Wash Mitt, super soft, gonna hold a lot of suds for us, which will give us a safer wash method. And then we will actually come in with the iron and fallout remover from AM Details. Since we cannot do a clay bar treatment on a coated vehicle, or it's not recommended because you might scratch the paint, we're gonna actually come in and again, use our wash mitt and do a chemical decon, rinse everything off, and then we're gonna top it with our G-Technique C2V3. That is the lineup for today. Let's go ahead and get started. So as always, we're going to start off with our tires and wheels using our tire and rubber rejuvenator, our foaming wheel cleaner, and then we are going to move on to our door jams, get those done and out of the way. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. Fortunately, no one was home. I am washing this early in the morning, so we're not battling sun right now, but we're close to having the sun peek through on us, and I really don't want to stain the paint by putting a chemical on there dry, so we're going to rinse everything off first before we come in and do our chemical. Now what I'm seeing from our hydrophobics as I'm rinsing the vehicle off is what I kind of expect. Water is just sticking to the vehicle because of all of the dirt and contaminants that are stuck to the paint. It's preventing our hydrophobics from really performing. But I am seeing these really weird kind of drips down the vehicle where the coating still looks alive. You've got signs of life, but it's just so heavily clogged. But it is giving me a small glimmer of hope. So after doing our high pressure rinse, there's signs of life. but it is slim to none. It's areas that I would say probably have had contact to them just from the customer bumping up against it. You can see all of our lower panels are severely clogged. Our roof, our hood, you can actually see a grit to them when water is on it. So we definitely have a lot of contaminants that potentially are bonded. So we're gonna come in first, do our APC soak. We're basically gonna spray this on the entire vehicle, and by the time we get from one end to the next, then we're gonna come in and rinse everything off. We're just trying to loosen some of the dirt before we come in and do our contact wash. I'm being very careful with the chemicals that I choose because I don't want to use something that's too strong that it might actually damage the coating. As I'm rinsing, I can still see a little bit of a grit, but it's not as much. We're peeling away layer after layer of just stuck on dirt. And you can actually see where some of our hydrophobics are starting to come back little by little. So we used an alkaline APC to try to help lift some of the acidic pollen that was on the vehicle. Now we're going to use an acidic soap to try to go after some of the alkaline contaminants and basically try to help neutralize the surface of the paint. This is that perfect consistency for a foaming soap in my opinion. Not so thick that it's going to just stick to the paint, but not so thin that it runs right off. It's going to stick a little bit, but as it runs off the paint ever so slightly, it's going to be pulling the dirt with it and basically cleaning the vehicle for you. Is doing an excellent job of just kind of hanging in there. It's loosening the dirt. It didn't kind of fall off in droves, but it's cleaning, and then we are going to come in and rinse all of that off. Let the soap do its magic for just a little bit longer. Once we do our high pressure rinse, after letting this soap work for us, we can come in and safely do our contact wash. That was actually why the customer didn't wash the vehicle for over a year. She was afraid of scratching the paint, but that was actually the one thing that this coating needed the most. Her intentions were good, but unfortunately she did more harm than good by not touching the paint at all. So we're done with our high pressure rinse. We're gonna come in and do our contact wash with the Carpo Reset. I can tell we were able to knock down a large level of dirt off of the paint before we even come in to do contact. So that's kind of critical, especially with ceramic coatings, because you don't want to have all that grit on there when you come in to do your contact wash, because it's going to scratch it. And if we have scratches that you want to polish out, essentially you're removing the coating. I don't have high hopes at this point that the coating is going to look fantastic. We do have signs of life, so maybe I will be pleasantly surprised that when we do our contact wash with the Carpo Reset that it will reveal that this coating is hanging in there. But I wouldn't expect any coating to endure in these conditions, especially, you know, come in a year later, no contact wash whatsoever, and look like day one. If it does, this is some sort of miracle juice. So let's go ahead and do our contact wash. I'm curious, I'm excited, I'm nervous, but I'm gonna just preface this that if we see that the coating is starting to fail, this isn't the coating's fault, this is the customer's fault. Carpo has two different soaps that I could have used either one in this moment, either their descale or the Reset, but we chose the Reset first just to try to assess things, but you can use either or I think in this moment. While both soaps are great at washing ceramic coated vehicles, descale is more of an acidic wash meant to remove hard water spots, and Reset is more of a pH neutral soap meant to replenish the hydrophobic properties on a ceramic coated vehicle. So I'm gonna do an experiment. You can see here on this panel, we just did a contact wash. It's bringing a little bit of life back into this panel, but we're gonna actually test out Shine Supply Spot Rinse. This has quickly become one of my favorite and must-have water spot removers on the market. It's very affordable, about $22 for a huge bottle like this. This is definitely something that if you have a coated vehicle, you want to have in your arsenal. Ideally, when using water spot removers like this, make sure you're working on a cool panel. I always wash it first just to cool it off. If you can, work out of direct sunlight, massage it into the paint, and thoroughly rinse off. And it's sheeting, and it's sheeting slowly, but it is removing the contaminants, the mineral spots, the pollutants that have clogged this coating. And you can see a straight up 50-50 line of where we've been able to declog this coating and breathe new life back into it. The coating wasn't dead. The coating was clogged because of improper or lack of maintenance. This is so critical for customers to understand, and this is why I stress maintenance is key. And honestly, if the customer brings us in more frequently, every 6 months, you're going to be able to do this treatment a lot with less labor, with less chemical, and with less torture to the coating, because I've had to add so many different chemicals to try to strip all of these pollutants off of it, that if we just do a good contact wash every few weeks, even months, you're going to help knock off the buildup of those pollutants, so that way you don't have this issue of being clogged. But now we've been able to see that the coating is still there. We've just been able to fight through all of that built up gunk that was sitting on the surface. So this gives me hope. Sean, you should feel proud, because that is a good sign to see. I'm not going to say that the hydrophobics look nice and tight and fresh, but the coating is still there. A year of complete torture and abuse, no washing whatsoever, and the coating is still holding on. So we're going to wash this vehicle, we're going to do our iron chemical decon, and then we're going to come in and do a water spot treatment, and then we'll see where all of our hydrophobics at. So we're going to go into time lapse for that, because I only have about 2 hours left on this appointment and I still have to do the interior, so let's get moving. So like I said, we're going to do our contact wash with our CarPro Reset and our Work Stuff wash pad. Super safe way to wash a coated vehicle. Then we're going to do our chemical decon with AM Details, their iron and fallout remover. This just helps remove any sort of rail dust that might have accumulated in the last year. This helps prevent rust long term on the vehicle. And then we'll do our water spot treatment and take a look at where our hydrophobics are at. You're not gonna believe this. I have to be the first to say I did not expect our hydrophobics to look quite like this. I thought I'd see lines in the coating. I thought I'd start to see failure on these side panels. If we were to see failure, it would probably be on this trunk, because that's normally the first place that a ceramic coating fails. It is still there even on the trunk. That right there says to me that this is a quality product. Bombshell Coatings was actually one of the easiest ceramic coatings that I've ever worked with. It's around $90 for a bottle, and it's claiming up to 4 years of durability. I would not doubt those durability claims after seeing this, especially if the vehicle was properly maintained. One more product because the sun came out and I'm drying in direct sunlight, and now we do have restored hydrophobics. We're gonna dry with Koshemi their finish spray exterior. This actually has a lime scale remover. It's a quick detailer. You can use it as a drying aid. Works fantastic, but it will also help remove any fresh water spots that might accumulate during the drying process should you have hard water. But it also, I think, is going to just give us extra safety as we dry, and also maybe help go after some more of the water spots that might still be lingering.
So when it comes to product recommendations, if you have a ceramic coated vehicle, I highly recommend using Carpro Reset every few months just to help replenish the hydrophobics, having a water spot remover, and this product here to dry your vehicle with. You can see it is going to give you extra lubrication as you dry, helps remove any sort of fresh water spots from accumulating over time. That's the #1 potential enemy to ceramic coatings, is water spots. And this has actually become my favorite product to dry a ceramic coated vehicle with, and it does a fantastic job.
So I only just dried the vehicle. We actually haven't applied the topper yet, and already the finish on this paint looks fantastic. I'm very impressed with Bombshell coatings, and I'm very impressed with how all of these products work to practically save the ceramic coating. The customer spent several hundreds of dollars to have the coating applied, and for you to really benefit from it, to get the most out of it, it doesn't require much. A good contact wash every few weeks is gonna go a long way. And even if you can't get to it every few weeks, at least once every few months is going to be better than nothing. Fortunately, this was a durable coating that we were able to save it with the right products, and maybe you're in the same situation. You've had a ceramic coating applied, you've come out of wintertime, you didn't do anything to it, you notice that the hydrophobics are really clogged, it looks like it's dead. Hopefully these chemicals, these product suggestions, can maybe help you breathe new life into your ceramic coating. Or maybe you're a detailer and you want to be able to help educate your customers on the importance of proper maintenance, but also should they not listen or just get too busy to be able to maintain it, you have some tips on products that can help save ceramic coating. So give us a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. We're gonna apply our C2V3, get this interior done, show you guys the full panoramic walk around. Already it's pretty fantastic, but I'm really happy with how today's detail turned out. I didn't have much hope, but I'm happy to see this with Bombshell coatings. Not all coatings are gonna do this. Some will die if you do not maintain it like this, but fortunately, Bombshell, I think, is one of those quality ones. Sean, you've got a good product on your hand. Highly recommend. I'll put the original video for that coating down below for those of you that maybe want to revisit it, as well as the links to purchase that products, as well as links to all the products that we used in this video, because if any of you have a ceramic coating, I highly recommend you have at least a few of these in your arsenal for those couple problem washes that you might encounter from time to time, especially a water spot remover, a wax safe foam that might be more acidic, but it will help remove dirt. So that way you don't have to come in and do a heavy scrubbing. Let the soap do the heavy lifting for you. So, all right, we got to keep moving, but we'll be back for the finished result.
Here's our before, and here is the dramatic after. It practically looks like a brand new vehicle. We've been able to save the ceramic coating chemically without having to be abrasive or remove the coating, and the paint looks so fantastic. The only good thing that came from the customer not touching it for a year was that we don't have any new scratches on the paint since the last time I polished it. But we've been able to go over ways to properly maintain it with the customer, and hopefully she's going to be able to keep the vehicle looking just this good the whole duration of the ceramic coating's life. But in the meantime, she has me to come to if she has any issues. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for future videos we have coming out. But we'll see you guys in the next detail.